actually wanted to look at an Instagram post that you put. I really like the caption that you put up from I think very recently, talking about how travel and how it changes you for the better.
Oh yeah.
And I think so you said it forced you to grow, right? And then you go into some details here, like you say, you're growing when you hit a delete on a passive aggressive text, no matter who it came from, and opt for let's talk about this in person instead, right? So I think because I saw a lot of parallels to what we're trying to do with the app and just talking about dating and relationships in general. So I wanted to talk more about lessons you've learned from your travels and seeing different cultures and
100%.
how it relates to relationships.
Well, first, you learn that there is no color, no religion, no anything. There is no barriers at all. When you connect with someone, we connected and we made friends with that became family, became someone you love that they are across the globe. They are somewhere on completely different continents. So none of that really matters. You connect on heart, soul, whatever your belief is level, but you really connect. That's one. You see, I feel like travel, and I think everybody should travel. That's one of the reasons I'm so passionate about what we're doing, because I really believe in that upcoming project. But I think everyone should travel to understand people, to take themselves out of their comfort zone, to take themselves out of whatever they were conditioned to believe in, because all your beliefs crash when you actually see with your own eyes something that maybe you were taught different, or something you believe to be different, or even something you've heard, but then you just see things that are so different, something that's missed that you just can't see, that is on the video. Because when you see a video, it's someone's perception of whatever area it is. It's not the area necessarily itself. How it relates to dating, I think it just opens your horizons and opportunities, makes you a better person too. You become more patient. You learn from different cultures. You see, to me, one of my biggest, I think, most incredible places, there are two, but one of the most incredible one is Tanzania, because there they somehow preserve the still genuinity, where people are so pure, so genuine. You can, in a modern Western society, you second guess who thinks what. Are they going to talk about me? Are they going to go to, I don't know, their guys are going to talk about girls are going to talk about guys, etc. You don't feel that when you travel, especially when you go to Tanzania. You just feel safe. You feel, I don't know, you just feel connected. You feel that you can be yourself. And that comes with their openness and their purity and their kindness, and them just being their genuine self. So in relation to dating, I think that's the core of it all.
Yeah. I think purity is a great word, because I was thinking, especially in Los Angeles, you never know why someone, if there's other ulterior motives or other reasons someone wants to get to know you or try to, use you or leverage you for something else, especially in this weird little.
You guys telling me my list of directors is this big because of the dating apps.
Yeah, right.
Because every guy is like, hey, can I be on your list?
Right, exactly.
So yeah.
And I think also what you said about getting out and actually seeing something in the real world is the same that we always preach with dating, right? Because we always say you really can't know somebody through the app, right? Whether you're talking to them all day for weeks, right? You won't know until you actually get in front of them and feel the vibe and get a real connection. So.
Yeah, and I was going to say, I think that's one of the most beautiful things about living in a big city, right? Specifically New York. So when you go to New York, everybody's so different, right? So it's really hard to not talk to people who are very different than you. And that could be, like you said, religion, politics, literally anything. And when I moved to New York, growing up, you know what you know, right? You know what your parents teach you, you know what your neighborhood teaches you, and it's very small, very closed-minded. And it's really hard to get out of that mindset. When you move to New York City, everyone's different. So, it's so easy to just be like, hey, why do you believe this thing? And they tell you, and it's very tangible. And you're like, I never thought about it that way. And then you meet somebody else who thinks the complete opposite of them and the complete opposite of you. And then you start to form all these opinions about these people. That's kind of this organic, real sense of, oh, everyone's different. you know, just because they disagree with me doesn't mean I'm right or they're wrong. We just all grew up a different way. And like in the big city, it's beautiful because everyone is so different, you know? And that's my favorite part of, it's not really travel for us because we're from New York. But yeah, when I would go to other countries or other cities, it's like seeing how people live. And I guess in a way, like being from New York and America, it's like we do have life a lot easier, right? Like I went to Colombia once and I was in the outskirts of the country and I saw how people lived and I was like, oh my God, that's so bad. But they were so happy. And I was
Yeah.
like, they have no idea. They're just happy.
Yeah.
And then the things that we complain about, I'm like, wow, that's really sad.
That was especially when I went to Tanzania, like coming back, it took me some time to integrate back into LA life because like exactly that. People are so happy and with so little. But I agree with you also on the point of being in New York and everybody being different because it's like everybody is right and everybody's wrong at the same time.
Right.
Because there's no one universal, and that's what you see when you travel. There is no one universal right. There is no one universal religion. There is no one universal belief. The only true things that stay is our hearts beat the same, our blood is red, everybody bleeds that, and we're all going to die. So those are universal truths that just stay true.
Yeah.
So,
And it's so funny, like when you're a kid, right? When you're 4 or 5 years old, you can meet any other kid and you just feel the energy of that kid and you probably like the kid and you just have a good time and you play. And then as you get older, you subconsciously learn all these things to like and not like and who to hate and who not to hate. Whereas like you're saying, if you just take people for their emotions and their energy and that's it, that's how the whole world should be. And that's how kids live.
exactly. Exactly like that. I don't know if it's because I travel. When I travel, I always try to bring my kids with me. So my oldest one, like they dragged everywhere. They grew up in like green rooms and on stage because I felt like it would be really good for them to get exposed. And my kids don't see color. And I don't know if it's just new generation. I hope it is. I hope all the new generation that's coming. But there was one of my daughters, she was talking to me about her friend once. And I said, like, well, which one is the friend? And she's like, well, it's the girl with the braids. And I'm like, okay, well, there's like 20 of them with the braids. I go, the girl in the pink sweatshirt. And then I pick her up once, and it's a black girl. Not once did it come up. It's a black girl.
That's so
Yeah, that's
beautiful.
amazing.
It was pink sweatshirt. It was braids. It was like this one, like not once. Same like other ones too. Like they have friends of like different, genders and gender orientations, and none of them see like, oh, like you are this, so you can't be my friend. It's just one universal thing, and I hope that's just what the new generation is coming to be like.